Earthsounds.
So hey Alex, hey Sam, Terrell from Big Gold Belt Media. How you doing today?
Yeah, good.
How you doing? I like your backdrop.
Oh, thank you. Oh man, you guys have absolutely took me on a journey. I did not think this was going to be. I feel like this is like the fourth animal nature show I've watched like the last month. but you guys definitely took me on a journey here watching this. I mean, first off, I want to say congratulations. I know this was effort, years in the making, and you could definitely tell it paid off. I mean, this looks absolutely incredible. I mean, this is not no iPhone 15. This is professional cameras, drones. This looks good. I mean, the quality to watch this on a 4K TV is amazing. I mean, it feels like you right there. But yeah, I just want to say congrats on this show. Let me get into my question. First question. With so many species, in various different places around the world, from the Himalayas to the rainforest to the Pacific. I mean, you guys were everywhere. I mean, I don't know what the travel budget was, but it's crazy. How did you narrow it down to what you wanted to choose to be on the episodes?
So the idea of the series was to try and create 12 sound journeys or journeys into sound in 12 different landscapes. So each episode, the concept was to try and take the audience and plunge them into a sound world and travel deeper and deeper into it to find out how animals use sound in weird and wonderful ways. So the first thing we did was try and identify the different soundscapes that we wanted to put the audience in. And we kind of split the world up into different sounding places. It sounds crazy, but there's some loud episodes. So the Amazon rainforest is a loud, noisy one. The Atlantic coast is this kind of crazy, crashing, black and white kind of show. And there's some really quiet, pristine ones. The Namibian desert is silence is golden is the kind of concept behind that one. And the winter woodlands is an acoustic maze. So there's quiet ones, there's loud ones. Then there's the ocean episodes, which are just weird alien sounds and long distance. So first we narrowed down the kind of different feeling, the different sounding shows, and also the different color palettes, blue ones, red ones, green ones. And then we began to identify the stories. And for us, the key thing for the series was audio first. So normally you make TV, it's visuals first, right? And this one, it was audio first. So we were looking at what are the sounds that we can capture. And we went around the world. We captured 3,000 hours of audio across 20 countries, all 7 continents, 1,000 filming days over 4 years during COVID. So it was like a major operation. So we worked out what are the sounds we could capture, and then we built the show around those sounds. So everything was kind of inverted for making this series.
Yeah, exactly. And what made it fun was, we wanted. There's lots of new technology that allows us to hear the world in new ways. So there's microphones that can hear higher than we've ever been able to record before. There's microphones that can record lower than we've ever been able to record before. So they can record the deepest rumbles of elephants that we've not been able to hear before. There's microphones that can pick up the tiniest sounds of termites as they scuttle through the desert. So lots of new tech that allows us to hear the world differently. But there's also lots of new ways of taking the recordings. We recorded all our sounds at 96 kilohertz, which is like 4K sound basically. And it means there's so much information in there you can play with that. So we use a technique called time stretching, which is a new technique which allows us to slow down sound for the first time. We've been using sort of slow motion video for years, but now we can do the same with sound. So it allows us to take some of the sounds that happen very, very quickly, like the song of a lyrebird, and slow that down so we can actually hear what's happening. And what it reveals is these birds are singing multiple notes at the same time, some high, some low, because they've got 2 voice boxes. So it allows us to tell stories in a new way, and sort of reveal new things about the ways animals use sound in the natural world.
Sheesh, man, that's like 3,000 hours.
Yes, somebody had to go through all that and log it all. So
told me there's a team of editors, not just one guy. Like
Yeah,
one
it's
person.
just Sam.
That's
Oh, my
me.
goodness.
That was it. Stuck in a sound booth.
He's only 17 years old. But
I think
the premise was here on our planet like never before. So like we felt like we had to the series kind of idea was hear our planet like never before. So we had to get out there and record a ton of sound basically to land those new sounds. And that was kind of what we set out to do. And hopefully that's what we've achieved.
Oh yeah, you definitely see it, you definitely hear it. In episode, I believe it was 1 or 2. I want to make sure I got my note here right. I want to say we were in the Himalayas, and you were saying, and that it took you guys almost 2 years to finally get the call of the snow leopard, like, and it just happened to just walk past one day. I was a little curious about that. Now, with the cameras that you guys have set up, how long do those batteries last? Do you have to periodically come out and swap those out? Or?
We work with an amazing team out in Ladakh who will go round and replace batteries and replace the foot and take the cards. So we've got an amazing team on the ground that are able to sort of keep those camera traps running over all the time. But it was the sort of holy grail, I think, for us of, could we get a close-up recording of a snow leopard? Snow leopards, to see a snow leopard is such a rare thing. And I remember talking to the producer who's a sort of mountains expert, and we were just sort of thinking, okay, so we know the camera traps will work and we'll be able to see cats coming past if we're lucky, but what are the chances of a cat stopping nearby and calling? And we were in the edit. The edit for that episode had nearly finished, and I thought we haven't got it basically. And were we too ambitious for trying it? And then news came in from our amazing team in the ground in Ladakh that a snow leopard had walked right up to the camera and started calling. And it's not the prettiest of sounds. It's not the most invitational of songs. But it works for the snow leopards, and it's and those to hear those sounds, sort of the duets going through the valleys, is really special.
It's worth saying as well, those cameras and those mics were developed by us. So we developed specifically for this series the remote cameras, but then also we included a high definition microphone inside it. So it was brand new tech that we designed for the series, which was, across the board, we were developing and designing and applying new technology to hear our planet differently. And for the audience, the idea was hear the whole story.
Okay, we patented technology while we making a TV show too. We found the time.
Well, hey, that's what it's our second series working with Apple TV Plus, and the one before was a show called Earth at Night in Color. And both series, the reason we love working with the platform is it's joining televisual entertainment with tech, and it's about telling stories differently. The whole Apple brand is about think different and telling stories differently, and that's what's so great about working with them is you've got the kind of the ambition and the resource to make some really groundbreaking, pioneering content.
All right, guys, I got time for one more. Let me throw this to you real quick. Now, I really appreciate that you guys take the time during this show, not only to give us the concept of the sounds around the globe, but you also take the time to explain your tech and how it works. And sometimes you don't always get that in the same show. Sometimes there's not enough time. But I mean, you guys did a really good job of explaining how the cameras work. How where you guys were in position from the animals. Because my entire thought was, man, there's no way I'm standing out there with all this stuff going on. But at any point, was there any point where like you guys had to make the decision to hurry up and get out of there, like this was an unsafe environment, or you were fine the entire time?
Oh yeah,
so there was there were a few occasions. I mean, we always work with scientists and sort of guides on the ground and for in terms of health and safety. But we wanted to record the sounds, the underwater sounds of hippos in the Okavango Delta. And to do that, we developed floating hydrophone arrays. So it had microphones. They also had little cameras on. We couldn't get close to the hippos. Hippos are very dangerous animals, one of the most dangerous animals in Africa. So we would float these microphones downriver towards the hippos. And as you'll see from one of our behind the sounds, our little 5 minutes, how did we get the sounds at the end? There was an occasion where the microphone got stuck and the crew went in to retrieve it, and a bull hippo sort of approached, and there was a sort of nervous moment. It was all
took a disliking to us.
Took a disliking to it. Yes. So there was some, we always obviously sort of try and work safely, but nature is unpredictable, and everybody was fine, and the microphones were recovered, and revealed amazingly that hippos can echolocate like dolphins. So because they haven't been recorded much underwater. There's a whole world of sound under there, but it's getting those sounds is sometimes you've got to think very carefully about how you do it.
For me, my favorite was the humpback whales that bubble net, and you can see at one point the team are there, and we attach with scientists cameras and microphones to the humpbacks. Then at one point, one of the humpbacks starts bubble net feeding around the boat. So they create these bubbles which they shoal in fish, and then they come up through the middle, and suddenly you could see this kind of boat in the middle of its bubble net. So they had to kind of just ease away, otherwise there might have been a Moby Dick moment. So yeah,
Sam, Alex, I thank you so much for doing this interview with me today. This is an incredible show. I appreciate you for the time and effort that you put into this. This is definitely a labor of love, and I definitely will be sharing this with friends and family, like I said, and making sure they get to see this too, because this was definitely worth the journey that I went on to watch it. So I thank you so much for doing this with me.
Thanks, Terrell.
Thank you.
Good to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Reykjavík.